Yeah. I was really stoked to do this video for Known. He's a young, up-and-coming artist. He sent me this reference video, this song Snooze by Johnny Yukon. I thought this video was dope. It was a really cool reference. Here we are here, and that's us in the bottom left corner, and that's Snack flying the drone. So this is cool to see, you know, 2 generations of hip-hop in Vancouver helping each other out. And that's me looking like an idiot in my sweet wool sweater. Yeah, I remember this being a pretty chilly day, actually. And I'm filming with my gimbal there. And so you see in that Johnny Yukon video, there's a lot of these like hyperzooms where it looks like they're probably using some kind of a zoom lens, maybe doing a digital zoom as well. I wanted to replicate that effect as much as I could. So I shot a lot of this footage in 4K, and I did a lot of like just with the gimbal just walking in and out so that I could do like a hyper zoom. So I would digital zoom at the same time as my camera was physically moving closer to the subject. I don't actually have any zoom lenses, and that's me trying to shoot some weird sidewalk puddle reflection. This is what my shot looked like. And then the drone comes in, and we shot some wicked drone stuff because it's a great location. And then Known's buddy brought out the car. And so we did the classic thing where I was hanging out of the trunk, filming just handheld, while Snack was driving the car down the street. And it was a pretty quiet place, so we didn't have too many people interfering, and it was a safer spot to do this, I think. And then Snack had Stewie Kubrick's fog machine, which was like a real fog machine from like Holly North, the production studio, where you heat it up with I think it's like butane or something. Anyways, it's like industrial size. It doesn't need AC, and you can see, like, even using it outdoors, how much fog it created. This is Snack filming Known again with the drone, getting those performances on the drone. And if you look at a lot of Snack's videos, you know, you'll see this a lot. You'll see a lot of drone performance and stuff. And then we went to Harrison Hot Springs, and this is again about Known trying to show like his place. Like, this is where he grew up, in these kind of quieter towns in BC, and this is a beautiful spot. We got into the woods there. You can see the fog machine. That's Known's buddy there just placing it for us. And we just absolutely filled that forest with fog, and it like floated into town, and people came out asking and looking for a fire. And then just driving home on the way back, we spotted this abandoned gas station, and the lighting was just so nice around sunset. It was just coming in perfect. And then here's the behind the scenes clip from Instagram. And there's me with my gimbal. Snack is stoked. I'm making a dumb face. This is just a great time overall. So let's get into the edit here. I got my raw timeline, and I'm just syncing all the performance clips up. Oh man, syncing up these performances of people driving can be such a nightmare. I would highly recommend that if you're going to do a performance where you're so far away that you can't hear the audio through your in-camera speaker for sync later, just like a clapboard, you should record the person pressing play on their phone so that you have a rough idea of where that track begins. This is something that I gotta remember in the future because I do this constantly and it's such a headache. So cut 1, I've kind of just trimmed the fat off the ends, got it all synced up, and then by cut 2, I've really just thinned this all out into the best pieces. And then I got my B-roll over here, which I'm thinning out as well. Cut 3, I've got it down to 4 tracks. I'm taking these 4 tracks and I'm just deciding what I like in which spot. You know, do I want to reveal the car location at the end, or do I want the car location to be something that's going throughout? And you can choose what part of the song you like which scenes with. Do I like this, or do I prefer this? You know, I got the alternate car take where he's standing, and then probably the best one here, standing out front with a ton of fog. And so you can film with some variations, right? You do one take with a little bit of fog, you do the next take with all the fog. If you're unsure of how it's gonna look, then you come back and you line them up like this, and it gives you a really clear idea of what you like and what you don't like. And editing for me is just, that's all it is just a process of feeling out what you're vibing with and what feels awkward or weird. And it's really subjective because everybody has a very different opinion about that. By cut 4, I've got it down to 4 performances, and then cut 5, we got it just down to 1. Let's see here. So cut 6, and what I started doing here on cut 6 was this like jitter cutting, where I'll just show you, like I'm taking this take, and on every click of a snare, you can see on every click of a beat or a snare, I'm taking this clip, I'm shifting it down a couple frames so it jump cuts, and scrolling it so that there's this jump cut effect. And actually, when I delivered this to Known, he wanted a cleaner style. You know, I think it's kind of what I did for the Corduroy Floyd Free video with that cutting on every single snare, and it's just like relentless. But I think Known wanted a little bit less like glitchy effects. I think it looked too gimmicky for him, and I totally respect that viewpoint. It totally made sense. So anyways, I ended up just fixing this, which was really easy to do for him. I think cut 8 here, you can see I've just put them back into their own shots. And then I got my color here. I'm using a LUT, right? Vision 6 log, whatever that is to you. And then I've got my film overlay. This is what I'm doing to make it look like film. Let's see, in effect controls. So the blend mode is on soft light. So that's the idea. I just downloaded this film grain off the internet, and then I've put it on soft light blend mode, and it gives me this just like a little touch of it on the surface. And so here's one of these hyperzooms that we were talking about earlier from the Johnny Yukon video. And so you see I've shot this on 4K, and I know that I'm going to be cropping it to 820. So I've keyframed it here at 50% scale, 960 by 540, and then the camera is actually moving in at the same time. This is what it looks like without the keyframes. It's 4K zoomed in. But see, I'm walking slightly in towards him. It's just a slight push in. So when we turn on that zoom and we go from the full wide of the 4K to the full punch in, so it's mostly a digital zoom, but the walking gives it a little bit more of a rushed effect. And if I wanted to make this more extreme, I would just make this a shorter take, right? And bring up my keyframes so it hit 100 right here, right? And then you could have that be a little more extreme.